forgiven for not reading the Courier. Our third inductee is Mr. Jamie King. Here to introduce him and present him to the Hall of Fame is Evan.
You keep going if you like. I'm really honored to be here because not many people can say that they inducted their father into the Hall of Fame. And I use the term living legend and not very lightly. As we were growing up, I played baseball, I played basketball, I played football, I played tennis, I played golf, I did all these things. I think I kind of did them okay. But Dad played travel ball in his 30s into his 40s. He played rec league basketball. I mean, basically the Courier was right. Anything he touched, he was good at. And not with practice. It was actually kind of a lot of pressure if I decided to do anything because I had that expectation to live up to. But it was unbelievable because I would be playing and I would hear a lot of his friends, anybody that knew him, which by the way, I'm also known as either Worm Jr. or Little Worm, and it drove me crazy. But I accepted it and I learned to love it because you would have former NFL linemen, you have former basketball players, you have former baseball players, you have all these people coming up to you and just say, boy, you run just like your daddy. Boy, you bat just like your daddy. You throw just like your daddy. And I used to say, no, I don't, because he's him and I'm me. And sorry, my 4-year-old just graduated pre-K, so we're straight here from that. But as I got older, I started thinking about it, and then somebody came up today and said, how does it feel to know that your dad is a living legend? And that stayed with me even to this day, because the more that I think about it, he really was. I would watch old baseball film of a ball when he played left field, would go right by him, take a crow hop from the fence and hit the catcher, sometimes with no bounce. The catcher would grab it with a tag with plenty of time to spare. That is legendary to me. I made the mistake one time in the front yard because I was trying to learn how to punt a football. And I said, I just couldn't get it. And so Dad said, you need to go and, I think it was something like pick up the sticks, or you need to do something like that. And I said, okay, well, I'll pick up the sticks if you can kick it farther than me. I did not know that Dad was a former punter. But, okay, so I kicked the ball, and I was very proud of myself. He grabbed the same football, went 15 yards back from me and kicked it 30 yards further and said these sticks aren't going to pick themselves up. So, to this day, I've never challenged him to anything again. But it's just unbelievable. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves of everything he's done. He was a great writer for the Courier, but just to grow up to this day, I mean, to have somebody like that you can go to all the time. And the thing about it is, I'm going to keep this short because he doesn't like these kind of things. He's never been one about ego. He's never been one about, look at me, look what I've done, this is what I've done. He's just basically said, I'm all right. But I can tell you, every time we walk up to a tee box in a scramble, every time we walk on the basketball court officiating, there's a presence there and people know it. And I mean, there's nothing else that I can say except that it's my complete, utter honor to induct the man. It's good to be the king tonight, my dad, Jamie.
Mark Twain was right. He said there are two types of speakers in the world. Those that are nervous and those that are liars. I'm not a liar right now. Yes, I should thank the Courier, first of all, for selecting me for this honor and their committee. I guess I have to thank all of my coaches and all my teammates of all the years that I have ever played. Most important, and just as important, I need to thank my opponents who drove me to be better. Most importantly of all, I probably need to thank my family for all of the years when I was running around the country. They were the ones having to stay home, like Evan, Kayla, my daughter, and my wife. to say they were back on the home front taking care of business. So, with that, I guess I'll get started. Before I get started, I'd like to introduce myself. I am an athlete. You do not see me on ESPN. You will not see me on any of the major networks. You will not pay to see me perform any of my skills. You'll never, like I said, you'll never pay to watch me compete, but I am competing. I don't throw touchdowns anymore. I don't hit home runs. I don't shoot a basketball anymore. I'm not supported by any clothing manufacturer. I don't do commercials. My supplements are not free. I'm not bigger. I'm not faster. I'm not stronger. I'm too skinny. I may be too fat. My golf swing slices. My jump shot is crooked. I can't do a pull-up. I can't do a push-up. I can't run a mile. But I'm still an athlete. My resume, of all the bullets on it, none say athlete. This is something I want to brag about for a few months for these young people. I am not the typical job. I do have a BS degree in aerospace. I have a BS degree in mechanical engineering. In my career, I have analyzed ballistic missile data that carries nuclear warheads designed to shoot and kill our enemies. I have looked at jet aircraft data, engine data, that is supposed to go into some of the most sophisticated aircraft the free world has ever known. I have authored or co-authored 4 technical papers. But no time during my career did I have any one of my supervisors or any of my employers ask me if I was an athlete. I'm an athlete because I have paid the same price as all the athletes that have come before me. I've made my offering to the fitness gods. I've tore my hands to shreds. I have soaked every inch of my clothing. I've cried from the pain of exhaustion and from injuries, which include scrapes, cuts, and broken bones. But what exactly is an athlete? For those of you that are old enough to remember the Webster's Dictionary, it defines an athlete as a person who is trained and skilled in exercises, sports, or games requiring physical strength, agility, and stamina. I have been around a wide range of people growing up, some who were very athletic, some who cared nothing about sports. But the one thing I learned about all of them that is being an athlete does not take a certain look. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the most muscular in the gym. You don't have to have a certain body percentage fat, if you will. There is no shape or size that defines an athlete. While I was doing my research, to stand before you tonight, I was looking at papers, and I thought, well, what does make an athlete? What are some of the characteristics of an athlete? And I've come up with 4. The first one is an athlete loves competition. It's our human nature to compete. We compete at our jobs. We compete as fathers, mothers, teachers. And sometimes the toughest competition is not the other person, it's ourselves. Because true competition is about challenging ourselves to be the best we can be. There was a quote I read a few years ago that says, competition against ourselves is the most difficult part of being an athlete because we already know everything about our opponent. Number 2 would be we need to be in shape. Now, everyone here has some type of form of physical fitness in their own way. When I say you need to be in shape, I don't mean you need to go out here and run a 90-minute soccer match. Being in shape means you are well conditioned for the task at hand. And the task at hand for a lot of people here is your job. You are conditioned for that, to get up early, to prepare. You get to work with your co-workers. You interact with them for the common goal, which is the same in sports. Number 3, as an athlete, we are always training, practicing, and preparing. Danny knows as well as I do, you will practice and prepare way more than you will ever play. How many tennis balls do you think a Wimbledon champion hits? In my sport now, golf. The Masters champion, how many golf balls do you think he has hit in his lifetime? A prime example is the Olympic athlete. Some of your Olympic athletes are in events that may last as little as 10 seconds. These guys and girls train for 4 years for possibly 10 seconds. 99% of their life is practice. Now, I saw another definition of an athlete. This one was by the University of Oregon coach, Bill Bowerman, who was also the co-founder of Nike. He says, if you have a body, you may be an athlete. So in other words, an athlete can be a top contender or an average finisher. So you're thinking to yourself, well, I guess I'm an athlete. No, there's a little bit of difference between exercising for fitness and being an athlete. You have to make a physical goal. You have to pursue that goal. You have to put forth the blood, sweat, and the tears. If you've done that, you still may not be an athlete. Like I said, there's one more ingredient to being an athlete. To be an athlete, you must have passion. Going through the motions of physical fitness will not grant you athlete status. Athletes have that insatiable drive, an unquenchable thirst, an undying flame to improve in their sport, no matter what it is, be it football, basketball, soccer, even snowboarding. The passion of an athlete will drive them to work, grow, fail, and improve every single day. If you're a runner, look at your race times. Are they improving? Free throw shooting. Is your percentage increasing? In the weight room, before you couldn't lift the bar. Now, not only are you lifting the bar, but adding more weight to it. Being an athlete is all about your mindset. They know that if they put together the work every single day, if they commit themselves to their process, if you're not afraid or willing to fail, that you will get better and better and ultimately succeed. So now, if you think you're an athlete, I need to ask you one final question. Do you do everything in your power to ensure today that you are better than you were yesterday? If the answer to that question is yes, as a fellow athlete, I extend my hand to you and say it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.